living with Sammo was unique in itself. I'll just say that. He is a very warm and beautiful person. He has a genuine heart, you know, and he truly does to have let a person, not Chinese person, an African-American person come and live in his home with his family and you know, be a member of the family.
Sammo, he's a very nice guy. All the time when he's there, we've got special meal. He always bring with his own recipe, you know, special food like chili style, most of them. But then fruits, of course, and then he's taking care of everybody.
I was in charge of teaching him English. That's what my job was as far as the immigration department is concerned, which is another issue. The immigration department, Americans are only allowed to stay in the country for 30 days. So that was a problem. But when Sammo and Yun Biao went to the immigration department with me to handle my paperwork, they really didn't care about me at that point. They were like, okay, Sammo and Yun Biao are here to take care of this guy. Let's leave him alone.
Sammo is very cool. I mean, but he eats very spicy food, very spicy. And he eats it like nothing. He takes peppers from Thailand, the little small little ones, the very dangerous ones. And he eats them all. And one time he was very nice to the crew. He always buys us food and desserts. Very nice guy. He loves to eat and he lets everybody know it and everybody can eat with him. He's such a nice guy. He buys these like satay chicken thingies like from the street, and there's a little pepper at the end. This is maybe like the first couple of days I worked with him. I didn't know he ate that spicy food. Anyway, he's sharing them. He's like, oh, here, have it. And then everyone walked into the house where we were shooting, and I just stood there. I was like, he's sitting outside. I was like, oh, yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm like, what about this little pepper thing? Is it good? And he's like, well, yeah, it's really, really good. I'm like, can you eat spicy? I'm like, I pride myself as a Chinese woman that I can eat some spiciness. I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm not great, but I'm okay. He says, oh, try it, it's good. And I go, and I eat it, I'm like, and the steam starts coming out of my ears. I was like, water, please, water. And then they grab ice and like shoving it, like, you know what? The ice in Thailand, okay? It was to chill the water. And I just grabbed it out of the bucket and it's like, and it went on for, I swear to God, like an hour of just your tongue, my started swelling up. And I was like looking at him, giving this, I don't care if you're, you know, I was just angry. I was like, you know, I was just like really, really, you know, and he's like, I thought you say you can eat spicy. I was like, I thought I could, but I guess not. And I've humbled myself now. Thank you, Sammo. Now when we have dinner, I'm just, is it spicy? Is it your spicy or my spicy? He's like, just okay, it's your spicy. Oh, okay. I'll eat it now. So I learned a lesson.
Sammo咧，我就因為佢即係做舞獅嘅時間咧，我就好中意跳舞啊，佢又好中意跳舞嘅。咁咧就我哋大家都成日飲酒啊，玩埋一齊。佢係一個好中意講笑，同埋好 active 嘅人嚟嘅。咁佢本身咧細個咧，佢就玩舞台功夫，佢啲關鬥啊。同埋佢嘅身手好睇咁肥咧，好靈敏，同埋佢人好聰明嘅一個人。你講咗咩俾佢聽咧？佢可能3-2年後佢講翻你講嘅嘢，所以佢好聰明嘅。
And the phone rang, cell phone. I answered the cell phone. It was Sammo. Sammo said, "I'm making a movie right now. It was called Chinese name is Hong Fuk Chai Tian. English translation is Gamble and Ghosts. It's a film for Clifton Kochi Sum, who was a very popular director at that particular time. And Sammo's obligation to that film was as action director and star. He said, I'm stuck with an ending here, and I'd like to use you for this particular ending. I think that, you have something unique and we could probably do something with you. So that was like a gift from God to me, my first actual starring role. The next day, the film company, Kochi-san Films, sent a van to pick me up, and I will never forget, it was raining that it was pouring. So they took me somewhere out in the new territories, and that's the location where they were filming. And so I get there, and I'm like, hey, Sammo, hey, how you doing? And he's like, he doesn't even respond to me, he doesn't look at me or anything, right? He's just, and keeps on going. So I'm a bit, nervous and everything. I mean, really, he is a true legend in martial arts, and I know that this is a tall order that I have to stand up to. So we changed the set to an interior set because of the rain. It's just raining all the time. So they dressed the set. It takes maybe about 4 or 5 hours, and this particular scene is where I come into play. So the cameras start rolling. I'm a bit nervous, a bit stale in my delivery, but Sammo continually works with me. He makes me feel at ease. Later in the evening, there was a series, and this is funny, there's a series of punches that needed to be done for this one particular scene, and where Sammo and I are battling in the house. And the series of punches were like 16 or 17 punches straight, different maneuvers and everything, and I could not get the combination right at all. So we just kept practicing it, and I thought that Sammo would somewhat modify it for me because I couldn't grasp the 16 or 17 moves that came consecutively. But he didn't, and we continued to do it in that same order. And I started getting embarrassed. Other people were looking at me, and I felt kind of self-conscious because, man, here I am given the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm blowing it. But I managed to get it eventually. It was 5:30 a.m. The sun was coming out over the new territories, but I got it. And so after that night, after we wrapped up, Sammo, he never lost patience. Every time I messed up, he went and sat down, smoked a cigarette, looked at his paper, and just let me practice. And I asked Sammo before we ended the set, I said, Sammo, why didn't you get mad? Why didn't you yell at me when I couldn't deliver what I was supposed to deliver? And he said, because you kept trying. That's why. And as long as you try, I can't be angry at you. And that was pretty unique,
Jackie 同埋Sammo我都係覺得哇，即係覺得係好似好高高在上一個巨星咁所以唔係好敢同佢哋接觸嘅。咁但係同佢哋拍戲嘅時候，佢哋又係好友善嘅。咁可能有陣時見佢哋攰，有陣時原來佢哋攰咧，佢哋反而會忽然之間打個關鬥啊，或者忽然之間會哇係好高嘅地方跳落嚟一個空翻啊，咁我哋係哇真功夫嚟喎，哇好犀利咁一個好好嘅經驗啦，可以同呢啲巨星合作，咁佢哋俾我嘅感覺就係原來巨星唔係我想象中咁遙遠嘅咯，原來一樣係好平易近人嘅咯。
For anyone who's never worked in Hong Kong movies, it's as different as you can ever imagine shooting a movie could ever be. So I end up in Hong Kong, few choreography ideas in my head and everything. We shoot a few scenes, and then I'm sitting around for 3 weeks before the actual fighting starts. And I ended up doing a couple of smaller fight scenes with Jackie, but he'd injured his shoulder doing another movie because often they shoot 2 movies simultaneously. So the big fight was then left to myself and Sammo, who of course is a legend in martial art movies. Well, I remember after the first night of shooting, first of all we shot 18 hours a day for 3.5 weeks straight, 7 days a week. and the studio was never under 115 degrees, no air conditioning, in the Golden Harvest Studios there in Hong Kong, over in the Kowloon side. So I'm dying, and I weighed a little less than I do now, and I still lost 18 pounds in weight over those 3.5 weeks, because the fighting was just, it's full on. It's virtually full body contact, of course, and a certain amount of facial contact, and I'm fighting Sammo Hung. Now, to anyone who's seen Sammo, you'd think, well, this guy couldn't possibly move to save his life. And one of the first things he did, he wanted me to swing a chair at his feet. And he said, I'm going to do, a half somersault flip off the floor, land on my feet, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like, And he did this maybe a dozen times, and it just blew me away. And that was, of course, aside from Hong Kong movies, my introduction to Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan. I had no idea that it would involve that sort of contact.
我記得第一次同佢合作嘅時候，佢俾我感覺都仲係好活躍嘅，即係佢會喺個現場嗰度比較火爆啲嘅，即係講嘢會係，因為嗰次係做導演嘅又係，即係會係周圍指揮人做嘢啊，然之後講下嘢，忽然之間會打個關鬥啊，令到自己放鬆或者我唔知啦咁樣，好定咯，即係好有信心，好有自信啦，好有 confidence 啦。
Before I went to Hong Kong, I had almost 20 years experience in the martial arts. So once I got to Hong Kong, and the martial arts that Sammo would teach me was not from A to Z. It was more or less to enhance or better the skill that I already had, which meant learning the style of fighting for film, which is different from actual competition fighting or forms kata or anything like that. And that was truly a physical challenge, because he wanted to train me like he was trained himself at the opera. So there were many days when Sammo and I would go out to the soccer field, and Sammo would have me doing some of the training that he learned at the Peking Opera School, which entailed a lot of physical stuff, calisthenics, running, jumping, some opera performances, which I really wasn't too comfortable with because I didn't study Chinese history. I don't really know the characters that are involved. So he more or less taught me the physical moves, which was just as good. It worked for film. I appreciate everything that Sammo did for me.
He should be the teacher, and he's so kind. He makes you, just feel totally, full of confidence, to him. The way he teach you Kung Fu is so easy to learn. He just explained to you where is your footsteps and where is the balance. You can get the equilibrium easily after he's explaining to you. Just like turning hook kick, spin kick, doing this and that, flying even. Yeah. He's really good in explaining things to you, just directly. Okay, get your strength here from your anchor. The first strength is here, anchor. And then the second one is your hips, okay? To your thigh, and then kick out. Get your balance right in the middle. You can just get it so fast. You don't even have to worry about it. And then make me feel like, oh, it's so easy, this action, how come? It's because of him. It's all because of him. Because one single action, I've done so many times before. But then until one day I met Sammo Hung, he teach you how to make it. He taught me how to do that, again. And then I understand it straight away.
There was a particular scene with Sammo where he's giving me an uppercut. So I'm thinking, okay, they'll put the camera over here, we'll cheat it like we would do in America, and the hit will be this far away. Wrong. So I had to find a little bit of cotton wool. Camera's kind of like here, I mean it was lower, I've got to put my head in and this big old fist comes through and hits me under the chin. And I mean, he's smacking me for real. I found a bit of cotton wool to put in my teeth, and I copped this maybe, you know, half a dozen times. And I actually have that on, I took some outtakes with my video camera of those shots. And, you know, I realized I wanted to see my face contorting in slow motion having really got hit, because especially back then, they wanted to be whatever was seemingly happening was really happening. Same with the side kick. I mean, Sammo must have got, you know, to the other end of a football field and hit me with that side kick that plasters me up against the wall. And it was amazing. The only thing I'd say, well, I always am and was in particularly good shape, used to getting impact because of kickboxing, so I didn't mind. And probably taking those hits and everything and doing that was what led to me getting all the other work in Hong Kong, because they respected, Sammo and Jackie respected the fact that I wouldn't mind that. I would take the impact, I'd take the hits the same as their guys would. So it was kind of a good thing to do, but it was tough.
There was the Hong Kong Stuntmen's Association, and I told Sammo I wanted to get in that. Whew, he laughed. I'm like, well, what are you laughing at? I mean, I want to be a Hong Kong stuntman, you know? Legitimate one. I saw all the Hong Kong guys that had their Hong Kong stuntman's card, you know. He's like, well, the only way you can actually become a Hong Kong stuntman is to have 3 Hong Kong action directors sign for you, quality Hong Kong action directors sign for you to become a member. So he's like, and I'm not signing for you. So I said, okay, this will be an uphill battle. So during one particular scene in Don't Give a Damn, there's a scene where I have to do a 100-yard dash, jump over a fence, land 13 feet down on the ground, continue running into the back of a moving car, and it scared the hell out of me, excuse me. It really did, just the whole concept of this being one complete take. And Sammo said, if you can do this in one complete take, I'll sign for you. Now, I had a number of friends over there at the time. In fact, one of my friends was a very prolific director as well. His name was Lau Ka Wing. That's Lau Ka Leong, the gentleman who was the action coordinator for a lot of the early Shaw Brothers pieces. Very famous. And also Yun Biao. Yun Biao was there. And they both agreed. I said, well, look, Sammo's going to sign for me if I do this stunt. Now, I'm scared as hell because I've never handled a stunt that big, and it was long. We had 100 feet of track in the middle of the street, which proved to me it was going to be a one-shot deal. So Sammo said, you do this, I'll sign for you. And then I had Lau Ka Wing. He said he would sign for me, and Yun Biao, he said he would sign for me. I said, great. I said, all I got to do is pull this off, and I'll be in an organization. Hell or high water. 4 takes, that's all it took. But I had that much determination to do this particular stunt. And after I did the stunt, Sammo was like, whoa, he actually did it. And the minute I finished, I took the paper that I got from the Hong Kong Stuntmen's Association. I said, sign it. And he signed it. Yun Biao signed it. And Lau Ka Wing, he was laughing the whole time. He's like, Sammo kept telling me you couldn't do it. He kept saying you couldn't do it. I said, I told you I could. And he signed as well.
He's a very nice guy. He's just typical, exactly Dai Guo Dai. He's first #1 in my heart, okay, in actor, okay, in actor chart, the chart in my heart.